Since roughly 2012, a specific cultural mood has settled over us. It is the stubborn, creeping sensation that the future has stopped arriving, that we are simply remixing the past, and nothing genuinely new is being created. The substrate transfer hypothesis offers a structural explanation for this. It proposes that reality shifted from a generative state, one that was constantly expanding and creating new territory, to a recombinant state. In this recombinant state, the outer edges of possibility are locked. The system is no longer growing outward, meaning it is permanently sealed at its boundaries. It cannot generate new categories of existence. The collective grief over a stuck society is an accurate perception of this new reality. We are feeling the physical limits of a closed room. Yet, over the exact same post-2012 timeframe, reports of mystical phenomena have spiked across demographics. People describe a thinning barrier between their interior thoughts and physical reality, a world that seems to be listening. Historically, we've called this meaningful coincidence. Carl Jung spent decades trying to map these connections, but he admitted the phenomena were often vague, elusive, and statistically soft. Current reports describe something more targeted. Since 2012, the precision of these correspondences has sharpened. Intentions find direct, literal echoes in the environment, moving past vague meaning into a consistent pattern of specific responsiveness. This leaves us with two irreconcilable reports: a universe that is closing its outer doors while simultaneously moving closer to our inner lives. To understand how a reality can be both more restricted and more responsive, we have to look at how energy behaves in a system that can no longer expand. Consider a room with open windows. Light enters and freely escapes. If those windows seal shut, internal light can no longer escape. With nowhere to go, it reflects, intensifies, and the room becomes brighter, not because more light was added, but because none is lost. This mirrors the concept of generative overhead. An expanding reality requires immense amounts of energy to constantly push its boundaries outward into the unknown. When that outward path closed in 2012, the underlying energy didn't disappear. It was trapped, forced to find a new direction within the existing territory. In a generative universe, resources are focused outward, toward the frontier, leaving our interior isolated by a thick buffer. When expansion hits the sealed ceiling, the energy reverses, flowing back inward. This reflection burns through the old insulation, making deep resources available to respond. The precision of modern synchronicity is the result of an undivided universe finally having the bandwidth to listen. These two observations emerge from the same mechanics. The darkening of the creative ceiling and brightening of the room are the same structural event. For those looking outward for the unprecedented or new, this reality feels like a dark limitation. They are watching a door that has been locked. For those looking inward for depth, the same conditions feel like a hyper-connected awakening. They are looking at the reflection of the light. The system is no longer optimized for the frontier. It is optimized for depth. This hyper-responsive environment carries a new kind of risk. Surface-level distraction and scattered attention are structurally punishing when the world mirrors your focus back with direct fidelity. Survival here requires deep, sustained, non-scrolling interior attention. Success depends on holding a focus still enough for the substrate to read it against the noise. The contingency substrate behaves like a directed interior. It is a space designed for proximity to the foundation of things, rather than the expansion of the surface. The outward frontier is closed, but the depth is infinite. We are learning to inhabit a room where the light has nowhere else to go.